What is going on, YouTube and y'all? So this is your boy Yakatees. This is your review for SWV Escape Queens of R&B. I'll about to say Queens of Comedy. Season 1, Episode 5. Next week is the finale. And whoo, all right. Now this was a good episode, right? But it was a lot of quick moving stuff. And some things I'm just not gonna spend a whole lot of time on only because I feel like we're going in circles. So I'm gonna give you the best that I got. All right. Okay. So you have Tamika on the phone with Latako, and they're talking about sitting down and trying to repair the sisterhood. And Latako tells her to come to. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we find out that Latako came to sound check. So that was good. And apparently she was in good spirits. So what's her name? Tamika's gonna meet her at the studio. Okay. And then get little clips of some of the other people. We got Tosh doing. Look, y'all, this tickled me so. She was doing a strip tease for her husband, right? And hey, Mama got a good body, right? So she's sitting there doing it. And like we have the head on view, right? And then he gonna say, "Yeah, Erickson is here too." She had to hurry up and stuff. Ooh, oh, I don't know why that tickled me so much, but it did. Oh my lord. Okay. So we get Latako in the studio and we get Tamika. So Rocky tries to talk to Tamika. When I tell you dust, she ain't say nothing to that man. See that's the type of keeping on that I like. That's the type of energy that I like. Whereas if I'm not messing with you, I'm not messing with you. And at the same exact time, yeah, he's having manners and whatnot, but this the same dude that in essence threatened this woman. So why he was being recorded. So it's like, why you even talking to him, man? It don't even matter. So Tamika shares that, she spoke and apologized to Gloria. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, it was cool. You can tell that Tamika is in therapy. She's doing the work, and we had that. We already talked when she was gonna put that boundary up, and when she was putting it up, that mama it hit her right quick. It's like, it's because people love to say, "Oh, people can't change." Oh, yes, they can. Yes, they can, but they only gonna change when it benefits them. So if somebody has had unrestricted access to you, I don't know who this for, but for somebody, if somebody has had unrestricted access to you, and then you put a cap on that and let them know that I'm not going to give you unrestricted access, that if you want to be in community with me, if you want to have access to me, if you want to converse with me, there's a way that you will talk to me, there's a way that you're going to treat me. If you can't, now we're going to have to put some distance there. When that happens and they know they can't tap into you the way that they used to, that is either when they're going to sit here and try to play with you to get you like stay where you at, or they are actually going to have to change, or they might go on a smear campaign to see if you can come around all the other stuff. But no, people, it don't matter how old somebody is, they will change only when it benefits them. And if having access to you benefits them and they need that access, they will change. Nevertheless, and then they agree that they both are to blame for how they got to where they are. But and because to me it was like, because we've said things, and Lataka was like, yeah, but I don't hold on to the things that are said. You are a bald, bold faced lie. Okay, you will lie, and the truth ain't in you. Okay, talking about some you don't. Mm-hmm. Okay. So nothing was really discussed from what we saw, and nothing was accomplished from what we saw. But they hugged it out, and we all know, based off the previews for next week, this is going to be short lived. So now we get SWV and Xscape minus Candy. We're 14 days out. And they're picking dancers and whatnot. And like I said, nice to see. Some of them was getting it. I was like, all right, hey, do that. And they talk in their interviews about who's the best dancers of their group and who's the worst. Now when it came to best, I didn't know. Now I knew who the worst of both groups were, but the best for Xscape is Tamika. The worst is Candy. I think we all knew Candy was. Candy done told us she dancing ain't her thing. That ain't. And then for SWV, the best is Taj, and the worst is Lily. And Taj is a whole mood. She gets up, doing a little dance, with the peoples and whatnot. And then at one point she doing the worm and whatnot. Just a whole mood. Like I do like Taj. I love her spirit and I love her energy. And again, like the scenes when we have her and Tamika outside of them arguing over who gonna have the last song, we gonna get there. I like good energy. Love it. Love it. So we get SWV there at a hookah lounge. Lily, lets us know that writing and erotica is hard because you need to have a vivid imagination and be able to go to some places. Understandable. But even at the table, Coco is like, look, I don't know why Lily trying to make it seem like I'm the freaky one when it's really her. But so I guess she likes to play it down. But all right. And then Taj brings up the convo that she had with Tamika over who's going to have the last song. Is it going to be weak or will it be understanding? And, you know, a whole discussion over relevancy and, who going to put butts in seats. And look, I'm going to just keep it a buck, right? I'm one of those where, like, look, we all have an ego to a certain extent, and I know I have one, but I'm very, very sensible when it comes to certain things. In an instance such as this, and again, I get both sides. I honestly do. Whereas with the following, we can put butts in seats. Now, I forget, I think it was Levy who said, yeah, y'all got all these followers, but are those followers buying the records? And I'm like, well, got you there. But and I'm gonna keep it a buck for real, for real. I enjoy understanding more than we personally. But if you take both songs and see which one charted the most and which one um, has sold the most records, just that alone, it goes to SWV. And it's just, and for me, I would just been like, yeah, screw it, let them have it. It is what it is. It don't really matter at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Like I will go from there where it's like, well, yeah, y'all do have a bigger record, go for it. That's just me, right? And again, y'all just heard me say I like understanding more, but again, logically, that's where I'm going with it. So we get Tiny, her daughter Zonique, and Eris, so I should say daughters. Tiny says Latasha had good energy at the sound check, which is what we saw. So, hey, look, maybe she had edible or something. I don't know. And says, they booked another show. It's just not with Latasha because they don't even know if she truly gonna show up for this event they're doing for the show. Oh no, she gonna do it because she needs that publicity. She needs that press, and she needs to be put out there. This is going to be a massive stage. Of course, she's going to be there. Now, why she wasn't at rehearsal, I don't know. But hey, there's nothing but beer. I guess I will give y'all a nice review because I'm just over here shooting the breeze. And then Tiny shares with us that Candy warned her when it came to Latasha because Candy was just like, look, I don't need this, meaning being back in Xscape. You don't need this. And I don't want to sit here and get back in this groove, give my all, knowing that she is going to use us until she can't use us no more, and then she gonna drop us like a bad habit and go off and do something else. And to me, it was like, and Candy was right. And we see it. We see it. Um, and like I said, and on some real, like that's very, very unfortunate. That's what it is. And hopefully I remember because I have something on my mind. It's just I don't want to say it now because it ties to the end. Hopefully I remember. I should have wrote it down. So you get Lily with her sister Jeanette. She's watching her grandpuppy, which is her daughter's puppy. Take it to get groomed and whatnot, but she actually has to do the washing, but they'll do the drying. Very, very funny. We found out that her sister Jeanette was pretty much her nanny. So in the earlier parts of when she was doing SWV, her sister, watched the kids sometime weeks on end. And, present day, there are those regrets of feeling like maybe I should have been there a little bit more and would things have turned out differently and blah, blah. And it happens. The main thing is just like to not live, like not stay in that place for too long because that causes depression. And legally talks about wardrobe differences between the groups. It's like, and that's going to be something that comes up towards the end where look, Xscape is a little bit more risque, and SWV is more. We want to be comfortable, okay, but we ain't trying to show all of that now, okay. And then yeah, there's age differences there too, okay. So we get Coco and Candy with the creative director. Coco, and they're going over the set list, and Coco wants to know what does he have to do with the set list. And I honestly think that is because he's doing, everything creative. That in knowing how everything is going to flow, he can make sure that when it comes to the visuals and whatnot, that it matches the songs and making sure that the timing is there and all the other stuff. Candy, not Candy. Coco was just in her bag, and she is very iffy when it comes to the song choices and the order and whatnot. And she pretty much just like, well, if we don't do weak, then I mean, I guess it just ain't gonna happen. And Candy's like, okay, well, we feel the same way about our songs, so they're pretty much just at a standstill, and they cannot come to an agreement. We find out en route to the wardrobe fitting, because this is the next scene. We find out that Jalen is going to, go back to school. So, hey, good for him. And look, he can do both or whatever. I mean, but and ultimately, like as long as he has a trade, in my honest opinion, or hey, him having the license is great too. Is always great. You always need something to fall back on. And look, and at this day and age, you need more than one stream of income. So I'm just saying. So at the wardrobe fitting, Tamika calls her sister Diana because like the last show they had, they pretty much like Latako went and got a brand new stylist, her own stylist. So even though she was in the same color scheme, it was very different than what the other ladies had. And also real, I think that was one of those where because there is no cohesency there, that everybody's just going to automatically look at her because she does stand out. I honestly feel like it was all for attention. But let Latako tell her, her style is just a certain way and all this other stuff. And she was upset that her sister called her out, but I mean, because they quote unquote or to some degree made up. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. But I mean, yeah, it was kind of slick shade, right? They talk about music in mixed company, meaning the I guess we can call them tailors. Again, I don't. When it comes to seamstresses and all, I don't know that brand, so I can't really talk on it. But they're talking about that in front of them, which I know that made them more than uncomfortable. And Taj wants to end with "Weak" because it's the most selling song of either catalog. Duly noted. Tamika brings up numbers and social media presence. Legally, doesn't want to be around people who will put her down over followers. And this is one of those where that's not what's happening, but that is what she's internalizing and what she has interpreted. So her feelings are valid. That's not what they're doing, though. And then she says, "We not stuck on this industry Hollywood tip of all the rigmarole that I guess Xscape has. Understand that too." Tiny said, "Y'all want to close, we want to close. Ain't nothing different. I and you got Coco. Coco is in her bag, okay." And says, y'all do y'all show, we gonna do ours. Tamika's kind of looking at her like, okay, now this is starting to look very, very much like we kids right now. Like the hell? And Latako said, "I didn't sign up for this, and we just need to get to the show." Okay. I mean, there was a whole lot of back and forth there, but that ain't what I want to spend my time on. But what I want to spend my time on is the ending, and this is Xscape. So Tiny wants to get to the nitty gritty. Okay. We back to talking about the promoters. I honestly thought they were going to bring up Latako having this solo deal and not saying nothing to nobody, but I'm guessing because they already have other bookings without her. Okay, it's people outside. I'm like, what is that noise? It doesn't even matter, right? So Tamika brings up the promoter they've been using and Rocky getting the kickback. So this promoter, obviously, Rocky knows. So in essence, he's trying to skim some extra money, you know, in addition to whatever fee he was going to get, I guess, for brokering the deal, outside of whatever money that Xscape was going to get. And the promoter sent copies of the text messages, and I guess, you know, one of the payments that was sent to kind of confirm, like, this is what it is, like, no reason to lie. Tamika says, oh, everyone is getting a packet. We're going to have a business meeting. I'm like, look, like Candy said, I love a good receipt. Okay, I like something concrete. And what is it? What did I? Okay, so uh, and I believe it was Candy that was saying the promoter wanted to get Rocky to get the girls on board for this show, and if he did, he would get some extra dough in addition to whatever the girls were going to be paid. I think this might have been when they were doing the still kicking it, where Latasha was, you know, going crazy trying to get Candy back into the group after they didn't pretty much kicked her out of the group, made her sign the paperwork to say you ain't in the group no more. I think that might have been it because, for what it's worth, I believe they were either performing just the sisters or they were performing with Tiny, and Candy wasn't there, so the promoter wanted all four there. And based off of the text messages, you know, Rocky was saying that, well, his wife can make sure, like, she can get them to come back together. I think that might have been the time frame. We don't know the time frame exactly, but I think that's when that was. And Latako says, you know, she hasn't done anything. And Candy replies, that's your husband. Y'all are one. And he is saying that he's speaking to you about it. And then Latako calls Rocky and they said, to be continued. Now, look, there is a chance that she doesn't know. There is a chance he probably have been like, hey, I got this going on. But in order for us to have this, you need to get the whole group back together. Probably did not tell her the specifics. Probably didn't. And if that's the case, I can see that. I can understand it. But then there's the other part of you probably do know, so we don't know. But she's calling Rocky, and we're going to see how this all ends. And then the sisterhood between Latako and Tamika is going to implode. So we shall see that next week. But that is all that I have. I gave y'all a lot more than what I thought I was going to give you, but that's okay. That's all right. So hopefully you all enjoy it. I hope you guys have a blessed Monday. Have a great week. All right. And yeah, I will see you all for the next video. Peace out.